Hello, Suns fans. This is Suns Latest. I am Rich Rubin. As of this recording, 822 Suns subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you to Fan Arch. And oh my God, you guys, thank you for subscribing. Excuse me. Thank you for subscribing. This is very exciting. As of right now and of this recording, the freaking Dodger game, World Series against the Toronto Blue Jays, is still happening. I've been sitting downstairs with my wife. I said, you know what? I really have to talk about the Suns Jazz game and some other stuff and do a Suns Latest. So now at this point, I think we're at the bottom of the 15th inning. I don't care anymore. So let's move it on. Here's the quote. You can observe a lot just by watching, which I've done a lot of today. Yogi Berra, the legendary New York Yankees catcher, who is easily the most quoted and funniest baseball player ever. But I always thought about that quote, and I like that one because of all of his quotes, that one makes the most sense. It's a funny way to say, hey, shut up, listen, which is actually pretty good advice. Personal, my dad, born and raised in the Bronx, and as a kid, he was a Yankee fan. He stopped being a Yankee fan once George Steinbrenner bought the team, but he did get an original seat from Yankee Stadium when they did the first renovation in '77. He bid and he got a seat. It is right over there. One of these days I'm going to haul it over here and I will show it to you, but we even painted it Yankee blue. It's kind of cool. My dad also lost his mind one summer. Him and I were at the Sonoran Desert Museum in Tucson, Arizona. We're looking at a desert bighorn sheep, and he bolts. We're looking at the sheep, and all of a sudden my dad is just not there. He has bolted away. He's going after this old pudgy guy, and I'm just like watching. I go, what the hell is my dad doing? And he goes to this old guy and he says, excuse me, may I shake your hand? I'm a Yankee fan. Guy shakes his hand. Guy walks away. My dad just comes back with this dopey smile on his face. And I go, what was that all about? My dad goes, that was Yogi Berra. I said, what was he doing at the Sonoran Desert Museum? He goes, I don't know. So that was my dad's brush with Yankee greatness. That was pretty cool, though, and I'm happy that he got to see that. All right, so let's get to the game tonight. Now, before we all start crying and putting our heads down, just remember, the Suns had this game. And it's only their fourth game of the season or the fourth game of the season. So just be thankful that we went in without starter Dillon Brooks. We still don't have Jalen Green, and we put up a really good fight. Just really quick, Suns at Jazz. Jazz beat the Clippers in their home opener. We lost to the Clippers in their home opener. Jazz lost to the Kings in their home opener. I'm sorry, Jazz lost to the Kings in the Kings home opener. We beat the Kings in our home opener. So, Heartbreak Hotel in this loss to the Jazz. Remember when I first started Suns Latest and I said that Lauri Markkanen would be a great addition to the Suns? Yeah, do not get down on the home team. We battled all night, came really close without Dillon Brooks. No Jalen Green. Royce O'Neal filled in nicely for Dillon Brooks, played more than anyone, 46 minutes because this game went to overtime. 5 for 12. From 3, but 6 for 17 total from the field, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, a complete game from Royce O'Neal, who does not get enough credit. Jazz outlasted us, 138-134 in OT. Book shot 11 for 26, 11 for 26, 5 for 12 from 3, 34 points, 5 boards, 10 assists in 44 minutes, 42 minutes for Grayson Allen, 7 for 19, 4 for 13 from 3, not as efficient as he usually is, but Grayson Allen has been as steady as anybody for us. He's still better coming off the bench for us. Ryan Dunn shot steady again, 3 out of 4, but he wasn't much of a factor, and for some reason only played 17 minutes. I think because Coach Ott wanted Nick Richards to get in there, and Nick Richards basically got the rest of Ryan Dunn's minutes. He played only 15, 10 rebounds off the bench. Mark Williams, this is huge, 31 minutes, his most in the 4 games, shot 9 for 14, 25 points, 11 rebounds. The Suns are doing the right thing with Mark Williams. They are bringing him along nicely. 13 assists off the bench for Colin Gillespie. Not the best shooting night. He will improve as his minutes rise up. All you need to know about the Jazz, Lauri Markkanen, career-high 51 points. He also had 14 rebounds. Walker Kessler is kind of a badass. Shot 9 for 12, 25 points with 11 rebounds. Suns were 42.5% from the field, kind of hanging around that low 40 percentile, and I don't like it. 20 for 55 from 3 for 36.4. Not good. We got to get better at this. This has to change. You would think Dillon Brooks sitting out and not jacking 16 threes, that would happen, but we're not shooting well, obviously. We got out rebounded, 64-48, but we shot 77% from the line. Utah shot 94% from the line. Utah does not look like the same crap team that they were last year. We won the season series against them last year 4-zip. That is not going to happen again. Once again, we had to battle back from way down. We took an 82-81 lead in the third, battled back and made up for a 7-point deficit with 19 seconds in regulation. It was close all the way till the end. Heartbreak Hotel, as the late great Al McCoy would say. The Suns look pretty good. They they play a lot harder than the team did last year. This one's tough to take because they had the game. They really were. They were up by a couple of points with like 2 minutes left in the overtime. They just couldn't stick around and finish the game. But you never know what's going to happen next. And the next game is at home. They get back home, and it is against 7 p.m. Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix. Is this game Wednesday? This game is Friday, I think. I'm sorry, I did not write it down. I might be wrong. Let's get to your comments. I try to get to every single comment, but with the weekend and with so many more comments than normal, so thank you. It's like that. It's kind of bittersweet. Oh my God, look at all these great comments. Oh crap, I can't get to all of them, so I'm going to blast through them, and then we'll get to your Legend of the Day Hustler edition. Brian, 102305, okay. I am a Washington High grad, 2003. Washington Rams, I believe purple too, Brian. That's really cool. I went to Washington High School in Glendale, Phoenix, on Glendale Avenue. Solfontan, Rich, thanks for doing this list. These kind of guys were always my favorite Suns. How about Raja Bell? What do you think is going to happen for the Suns Legend of the Day Hustle edition? Yeah, tune in. I was going to say tune in tomorrow for your Raja Bell, but that's going to happen today. And thank you for watching. Go Suns. Stephen Koshel. Man, did I screw this up again? I'm sorry if I did. How was the concert? You missed a really exciting second half of a game. I plan on commenting more, so my last name is pronounced Koshel. Well, now we got it. Stephen Koshel. Love the show and excited to see how the team responds to seeing Beal on Friday. Oh, this is an old one, but I wanted to get this guy's comment in. Beal seems like a good person, but by his business approach to basketball does not make me miss him on the court. This is from last week. I was in Phoenix for Wednesday for one night to see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. Alice Cooper hasn't lost a step. It's really macabre. They put on this whole show with a guillotine and everything. It's crazy. Judas Priest is amazing. They go 110%. 110%. Mark my words, though, Koshel. Bradley Beal will not move the needle for the Clippers this year. And I stand by that, and I'm proving it. From Nico and Cisco, I think that's your name. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. This is becoming my favorite Suns update every week, and I'm still riding that high from game one. We lit the blunt, the morgue. Okay. All right. Put down that marijuana cigarette. Hey, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad to be doing this. This is a blast. And thank you for saying that. That's really nice, and that fills my soul. Thank you. Cope Chick, there are two things missing. Hopefully the first one changes when Green is healthy, but the first is shooting. Hey, it's not even, we're not even at game 5. But yeah, you're right. We do not have enough consistent scoring. I agree. Booker is passing out in the middle of taking good shots, and none of the other starters are consistent enough. Start Gillespie. Yeah, I like the idea of starting Gillespie. He's a point, and he'll do what Book tells him to do, and he'll do what Coach Ott tells him to do, and you bring Grayson Allen off the bench. Missing on defensive switches and not contesting the shots. They are struggling on defensive switches. They are missing, but they are struggling. It's going to get better. I'm liking the offensive rebounds. However, we wouldn't need to have so many if they were more consistent with their shot. Very good observation. At the Looney Bin channel, in all caps, I second that. Start Gillespie. Nevetsov, hello. Agree. I will watch this every day over PHNX. I think that's another podcast. I think I like that one because that one does like analytics like crazy, and I think that's a really good podcast. The 15-minute format makes it so much easier to keep up to date with. I'm glad you like it. I try to cap these at 15. Shifting to the regular season, there's a lot more to cover, so bear with me if I go over. But thank you for the really kind words, Professor Adam Perez. Sunscribing and vibing, loving it. Oh, I think we got a new slogan. Sunscribing and vibing. If you become a Sunscriber, you can start sunscribing and vibing. Thank you. CK Amalajit, love and support from India, subscriber 792. Respect. Thank you for being Sunscriber 792. As I mentioned at the top of this, we got 822. We are building, man. This is pretty cool. Anonymous Rex, hello. The Suns look like a 30 to 35 win team. I think we're going to get 40, 41. I really do. Booker is not a point guard. Well, he sure is doing a good job faking it. 35-5 every single game. Suns are ruining his career by forcing him to play at that position. Not ruining, but Book is best as a shooting guard. Start Gillespie, as a few of you just mentioned in the comments. Booker is all-world as a 2. Also, Suns are very young. Maybe 35 wins this year. All right. Peter Nash, add Jalen Green. That gives you 10 more wins. Add in-season growth, 5 to 10 more. That's 45 to 50. That's very optimistic. I don't think we hit 45, but I think we're good for 40. I think we have to do more than 39. We just have to, or I'm going to lose my mind. Green makes the system work on every level. Just got to stick out the ugly times. He'll make Book and Oso better, and lets Brooks, Dunn, Colin Gillespie do what they're supposed to do. Allen and Royce O'Neal, too, but they'll be traded. As of now, until Jalen Green can show us what he does and Mark Williams starts playing efficiently and consistently and becomes our starting center, we shall see. All right, let's get to the Legend of the Day, Hustlers Edition. This originally thought of by Sunscriber and Sun's latest loyalist, Nevetsov. Thank you, and I'll always give credit. Somebody earlier mentioned Raja Bell, and how can you not put Raja Bell into one of the most gritty hustler players that the Suns ever had? Undrafted in 99, hooked up with the Sixers in 01 as a free agent, played in the back then it was the CBA, now it's the G League, barely used, then starts Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 01 with the Iverson Sixers, then plays in every game of the Finals against the Lakers in 01. And he did okay in 05. Bell signs with the Suns, and along with Steve Nash, hit his stride. Raja Bell was never more effective as a pro than he was when he was playing with the Steve Nash 7 seconds or less Suns. This perfect running mate for Nash. Started 79 games, hit 44% from three. Suns fans loved, a deep, hardcore love for Raja Bell, lunch bucket guy who took it upon himself to be a quiet but effective enforcer from the guard position. And here's what made Raja Bell, and you know where I'm going with this. Ask the guys Raja Bell played with and against. They'll tell you there wasn't a better defender. There for sure wasn't anyone tougher or more focused on making his team better through defense. And I watched over 5 podcasts featuring players like Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells and all the guys who played in the era of Raja Bell. You have to say it. It was the era of Raja Bell because you mention his name and everybody's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. There was an error. Raja would pick up 2 fouls before the first quarter was over every single playoff game, especially against the Lakers. Why? Because the league wanted Kobe to make sure. They wanted to make sure that Kobe wasn't having a bad game. And I will stand by that. And that was the time of Donaghy and a lot of other shady crap, which is coming full circle now. We're not going to get into it right now. Read into that what you want, but that happened a lot, consistently, especially with elite players like Kobe Bryant. So the 06 playoff starts. Bell's on Kobe like a Karen on a manager, slapping, tugging, pushing, constantly yapping, but Kobe was Kobe. Underdog Lakers go up 3-1 on the Steve Nash-led Suns. But Raja, I think at some point said, yeah, F that S. That's not going to happen. Game 5 in Phoenix, a very physical game with Bell grabbing Kobe, Kobe shoving Bell, Kobe elbowed and trash-talked Raja so much Raja had enough, put him on the floor. 7:33 left. The Suns leading 93-79. Bell hooked Kobe's arm, threw him down. The clothesline. Benches cleared. Refs took control. Kobe kept his cool. Looked like he couldn't believe what just happened. Like, I'm Kobe Bryant. You can't do that to me. So he has his cocky grin. He's wagging his finger, but his head's down. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a dirty play. But you know what? Kobe did a lot of stuff that the refs didn't see during the game. And Raja has been quoted saying, and he's never wavered from it, you know, Kobe's allowed to push and grab and kick and bite and grab my jersey as much as he wants. I'd had enough. So I snapped. And like people have asked Raja, did you lose your cool? And he goes, nah, I got pissed off and I snapped. But I needed to send a message. I needed to let him know it's like, you keep doing that, I might hurt you next time. He just kind of put him on the ground this time. So it had been the first time in a long time someone had bullied Kobe. And all the swagger in the world couldn't hide the fact that it surprised him. And it had an effect on him. And if you argue that, then you didn't watch that series. And Suns fans watched that series. So Bell gets called for a flagrant 2, instant ejection, suspended for Game 6. I'm fine with that. That's the way that goes. After the infamous clothesline, quote, no boundaries or limitations on what he's allowed to do to me. Kobe, quote, I don't know this kid. I don't think about him. Maybe he wasn't hugged enough as a kid. Everybody had a big laugh about that. But if he's not thinking about him, then why would he talk about him? You know, as much as I love Kobe Bryant, Kobe sometimes had a hard time taking it. He still wasn't Mike. Kobe called anyone defending him kid or young fella just to piss them off. Pissed off Raja. TNT and ESPN ran with his narrative, but those paying attention knew that Kobe, as great as he was, as tough as he was, and Kobe was freaking tough. As much as he was shrugging it off, for the first time, at least that I could remember, had been absolutely challenged by someone who did not give an F about who Kobe Bryant was. Game 6 in LA. No Raja. Lakers have a 3-2 on their home floor. Let's close it out. Kobe smells blood, comes out firing, scored 50. But the Suns had this other kid named Steve Nash. We also had this other kid named Sean Marion, who the Lakers had no idea how to defend. And the Swiss Army knife, Boris Diaw, confused the hell out of anyone in front of him. Suns win 126-118, forcing a Game 7 in Phoenix. So really quick, that Laker team wasn't very good. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't as bad as people say. No, they would not have made the playoffs without Kobe. But Kobe was the best player in the league at the time, other than Nash. So it was kind of weird that the Lakers couldn't close it out in LA with Kobe getting 50. Kobe goes for 23 in the first half in Game 7, the deciding game back in Phoenix. And Phoenix is quiet, going, oh man, we really pissed off Mamba. But in the second half, he only shot 3 times. And even the most diehard Laker fans and critics agreed Kobe quit. The Suns destroyed them, 121-90, to come back from 3-1 and win the series. No one talked about the series, only about how, for whatever reason, even getting suspended for a game, Raja was the only player ever to get in Kobe's head. So rumors were Kobe quit, that he was pissed at his teammates, something like that. And I don't buy it. I don't think it ever entered Kobe's mind not to do something. It was odd that he didn't shoot a whole lot in the second half. There's no way Kobe quit. Too much pride. It's not in his DNA. Too much swagger. Too much ego. Too much, I'm Kobe Bryant. I don't quit. You know Kobe Bryant's constantly thinking like Mike, I'm the best. I'm great. I'm the great one. I have to be great. There's no quit in him. But something got into his head. Something happened during halftime of that game because it made no sense that Kobe shot 3 times and scored 1 point in the second half. 1 point. And that something was Raja Bell. This is where Laker fans are going to rip on the Suns. Bell, starting point. They're going to point to their 17 titles. And by the way, 5 of those titles were won as the Minneapolis Lakers. So I say the Lakers have 12 NBA titles. The Los Angeles Lakers only have 12 NBA titles. And I stand by that. Say Kobe is the greatest ever. No one remembers Bell. Kobe remembered Bell. And all this is one of those things where it's like, how can you say this about Kobe? Rest in peace to arguably a top 5 greatest player of all time. Loved Kobe, hated Kobe, loved to hate Kobe. He was a Laker. This has nothing to do with anything other than this is what happened during the career of Kobe Bryant and an incident and a thing that happened during a playoff series. And Kobe Bryant himself would want this to be spoken about. Because Kobe Bryant himself would be like, nah, nothing happened. Nah, you're crazy. Which is why we love Kobe. You could not get to him. But as much as you dislike an opponent, if they play you tough, a weird kind of respect develops. And when asked years later about who played him the toughest, Kobe always mentioned Raja Bell. And this was the era of all-league defenders like Bruce Bowen, LeBron, Artest, and Paul Pierce clamping and getting in Kobe's jersey. Raja wasn't scared. Raja was a grinder. He played ugly, he played hard, he played physical, sometimes violent defense. Kobe also begged Raja to join the Lakers. It didn't happen. In 2008, Bell and Dia were traded to Charlotte for Jason Richardson, Jared Dudley, and a second-round pick. And Bell saw a lesser role under new defensive-minded coach Terry Porter in Phoenix, which made no sense. Bell and Marion were our best defenders. Terry Porter got ousted really fast. Raja retired in 2014 after playing close to 15 years, and for the Suns from 2005 to 2008. NBA All-Defense, first team in 2007, second team in 2008. Raja Bell. You say his name. I don't even have to say that he's a Suns legend. I don't even have to say that he was gritty, and I don't have to say that he was a hustler. Raja Bell is your Suns Legend of the Day, Hustler Edition. Last I checked, Raja is still active with the Ringer podcast, but I haven't checked it in a few months, so firm that up for me. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to go downstairs and see if the Dodgers have lost or won. And I'm not even a Dodger fan. My wife is, so, you got to do what you got to do. Appreciate you watching Suns Latest. Go Suns.